Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me indicate I abhor crime. I abhor victimization, the victims that suffer. I want to prevent crime. I want to pay tribute to all of the law enforcement in this room and outside and those in Houston, Texas, from where I come from, of which I have a deep and abiding affection and relationship with. As a Democrat, I will not sit here, as my predecessor said, Barbara Jordan, and see the demonization of the Constitution, the destruction of what we believe in and our values. I want to stand here and be supportive of everyone who is before us, but I want to do it in a way that is befitting the patriotism of this nation, the very soldiers that are on front lines wearing uniforms of people of color and otherwise. I abhor anti-Semitism, if you will. I abhor people being violated through domestic violence, and it was Democrats who fought extensively for the Violence Against Women Act, which has put a lot of money in the state of New York and other states. Let us work together. Let us find facts that really address this question. And that is what I'm going to try to do. First, I think it is important to note that the monies that the Republicans want to cut are monies that would help victims. We don't want victims, but we need to have resources. My own crime victims in Houston say, we're lonely. We need to be taken care of after the incident. And I agree. And I brought money to the Houston Police Department. Let me ask Ms. Vaughn, there are many things that we can do better. Excuse me, Ms. Fisher. There are many things that we can do better. And I clearly like you to talk about the importance of a storage bill. I've introduced the Kimberly Vaughn Safe Storage Act. What does that do in terms of bringing down gun violence? And my time is short, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, Representative. We need safe storage laws to ensure that children can't access guns that shouldn't have them, to ensure that individuals who are in crisis can't access them and potentially commit suicide and mass shootings. Safe storage laws work. We have a strong one here in New York State, and Congress should enact one as well.
And can I just ask a yes or no, are mandatory red flag laws good?
Yes.
Should we rush to Washington and implement a ban the assault weapons?
Yes.
And can we do better in passing stronger gun safety legislation? We know we've had one bill, but can we do better?
We absolutely can do better, and we need comprehensive reform, and we need it urgently for all Americans.
Mr. Kessler, can you quickly respond to the question of violence? Can you, under oath as you've taken, affirm that violence or gun violence in a myriad of ways is going down in this state? I just want to hear you say it again.
Yeah, it is absolutely true, and it's also 18% below the national average in New York City. And New York State has a far lower murder rate than the country as a whole.
Quickly, thank you very much, Ms. Fisher. What percentage of guns are found in New York come from other places?
Over 70% of guns that are used in crimes in New York City and across New York State come from out of state, the iron pipeline from weak gun law states, including Florida and the Carolinas and Georgia.
Let me ask the Councilmember Holden, thank you for your service. You said you're a lifelong New Yorker?
That's correct.
And you therefore lived in New York in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on?
Yep.
Did you say in an article recently, I've never seen the lawlessness we're seeing now?
Yep.
And so do you realize and recognize this pamphlet, Fear City, in the 1970s? And so apparently we've had some ups and downs. This is Fear City, a survival guide for visitors in New York City of New York by NYPD, 1975. I ask unanimous consent to put this in the record.
Without objection.
And so we've had our moments. We do better if we work together rather than we cast about what is bad and what isn't. Let's work together. Let's get the funds. Let's get the appropriate justice for these victims. Let me quickly go to this point. We are here wrongly because you're here rightly. You are here rightly. But we're here wrongly because District Attorney Bragg, because of Trump, has been called, he called him, a saurus-backed animal, a dog whistle. And then, of course, other Republicans have followed likely. By the way, Republicans have threatened to defund the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearm, that does a lot on trafficking. This office, because of these threats, white powder has come. He's had threatening and racially charged calls into the district attorney. I indicated to you my belief and love in democracy. I want justice for you. But this is an absurd and poor reflection of who we are as Americans, who I am as a Houstonian. And I believe in bringing people together. We need to bring people together and work on the solutions. I ask unanimous consent to place in the record 3 are charged with selling ghost guns, including assault weapons. I'm asking unanimous consent.
Yeah, without objection.
And the welcome to Fear City, unanimous consent.
Without objection.
With that, I yield back. I thank you, and I thank the witnesses out of the bottom of my heart.
Gentlelady yields back.